Okay, I'm back and we're recording. All right, so today on this lovely last day of July, okay, we are here and we have a very good interview today with Stan Abrams or Abrahams, depending on how you pronounce it. Stan Abrahams from the lovely state of Arizona. Stan, just hit *6 on your phone and then we can hear you. *6 and unmute yourself.
All right, I'm back.
There he is, the man, myth, legend. So, Stan,
Oh,
thanks very much for taking your time out today. Tell us a little about yourself, how long you've been in real estate, all that good stuff, please.
I got in way back, in 2004. I actually got my license in 2003, and I was working another job and jumped in 2004, took a kind of a leap of faith, and I had a neighbor that knew that I didn't like my job, so he said, hey, why don't you come work with me? And, we'll have some fun and make some money. So I took a chance, came in. What was that? That was like August of 2004 I got in. He would have me go door knocking. I'd door knock about,
nice.
He was doing short sales back in those days, which nobody knew what short, before. Who heard of short sales? And
right.
about 70 letters we'd mail out. I'd go door knock like 12 of them. They were all over town. And, Phoenix is a pretty big place, so I drive about 110 miles, door knock. And what was interesting was the few people that I got to speak to would show me a stack of letters that other people had mailed them, and they said, you're the only one that stopped by.
Yep.
So I thought that was kind of interesting for anybody that's thinking about door knocking. People call I get spam calls all the time. Hey, do you want to sell your house? I get text messages, but I think there's a lot of value to seeing somebody face to face. Anyway, just that for a while, about one deal a week, but financially it wasn't helping me out. So, I've been with Charlie, by the way, since the beginning. And he, my manager back then said, hey, why you, I make like $1,000 a deal. That was it. And I was having a hard time making ends meet. In fact, I think we had to put our mortgage payment on a credit card at one point. So
wow,
it was a little rough going. My wife's a teacher, and as you know, teachers in Arizona don't get paid a whole lot. And I had two kids, so I worked with an older lady that was looking to, she needed some help. And she said, Stan, come work with me. I'll split everything with you 50-50. I'm like, really? I'm only getting $1,000 on all these deals I'm getting. I'm like, it's a no-brainer. So she took me under her wing. Lima Perkins, she's like my second mom. I mean, unbelievable for me. So, Rick, I know I'm jumping ahead now, but I'm a huge believer in having somebody mentor you when you're first starting out. I see so many agents come in and just fail because they feel like they're by themselves. And, if it's about the money, trust me, you're going to make money later on, but the first year or two, pair up with somebody that does some business. Now, I'm a guy that learns from doing stuff. So if everything for me is just theoretical and, me listening to somebody else doing it, I don't learn. I learn by doing. So when you work for somebody that has a lot of transactions, then you pick up stuff and you learn stuff. Anyway, that's just the way I learn stuff. But I really don't know why more people don't pair up with a team or a mentor. Gosh, that was in 2004. I think I was Rookie of the Year that year, if I remember right. And then we, of course, had the downturn in 2000. What was that? 8?
7, 8. Yeah.
Yeah, 7, 8. And Lima had she had some connections with a couple of banks, and I'd be doing all the correspondence for her, and so the banks got to know me. And when the market started tanking, that's when they would send me stuff, and in a way I got kind of lucky that she was there to to help me along. And I'm a worrywart. I think of the worst case scenario too many times. She would tell me, you're like spending way too much time thinking about the worst thing that can happen. 90% of the time, all of your fears never come true. So why don't you just stop wasting your time thinking the worst thing's going to happen? Just focus on the right stuff, and you'll be fine. So it was nice having her talk to me about stuff like that. And thinking back, I think those kind of tips are really valuable. Because when you're brand new, you think you make lots of mistakes. You're not sure of yourself. So it's nice having somebody like that help you. So the worst market for a lot of agents were actually my best years. I was working every day. Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve. The banks didn't care if you had a holiday. They needed those reports. They needed me going door knocking, checking on properties. You know the movie The Big Short?
Yes.
I was one of those guys going and door knocking saying, hey, bud, the bank just took over your house. And we need you to move. So
that was always fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so John, my current business partner, joined me back in 2009, I think. And he'd tell me, Stan, what are you doing? Going back to these houses, going to the backyard, checking. You're going to get shot. I didn't care.
Right.
My job was to make sure the home was vacant. And if it wasn't, make sure it was, because I had to go get a rekeyed. You don't want to rekey a home that's occupied. So we had a lot of adventures back in those days.
Oh, God. I remember those days. Then you did cash for keys, right? Hey, well, they'll just pay you to leave, right? Cash for keys.
And then the banks.
All that good stuff.
And I had to front the banks the money. I had to front the banks the utility bills. One year, I had about over $30,000 in just utility bills they had to reimburse me. Yeah, it was it was a lot of work.
Yeah, you had to take it. You're almost like a property manager while you had the listing, right?
Absolutely. And you didn't get a full 3% commission. But I'm so lucky I had it, because a lot of agents didn't. But it was a lot of work. Hey, you put the work and the time in, you can make a decent living. We had over
no doubt
listings. And I actually told LPS, that was one of the big one of the REO providers, they asked me, hey, how many listings can we give you a month? I looked around to John and said 50. So I could have said 100, and I would have had 100. I just didn't stand having a team concept, hiring more people. So, that was
great.
I'm sorry.
So, no, that's great. I love it. I love it. And now, ever since then, like 2008 and 2009, the business has changed a lot, hasn't it?
It's constantly changing. I remember when I first met Mark Stark, when he came to the office, and Charlie, our broker, introduced me to Mark and said, "Yeah, these guys do a lot of REO business, and he goes, I'm going to teach you how to go out there and get new business." And it was a totally different skill set I had to learn after the REOs were done, because we went into doing some short sales. One thing Charlie used to always ask me was, "Hey, how's your CRM going, Stan?" And I'd not say anything. And boy, I'm telling you, anybody that's listening to this podcast, you got to get a CRM. You have to get your people into a system where you can keep track of them, you can follow up with them, because that's the gold mine.
Right.
That's the biggest mistake.
And that's kind of what you and John rely on now, right? Mostly is your repeat and referral sphere of influence people, right?
Yeah. Last year, 52% of our business came from our past clients. This year, so far, 68% of our business is from our past clients. 68%.
Right.
So we live and die by past clients.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a progression. You started door knocking, filling your pipeline yourself, developed your sphere of influence. John joined you. I mean, you just kept expanding and expanding, and that's why you're in the position you're in. And now, that, you know, the last few years especially, that you've been super consistent with that sphere, it's really paying off, isn't it?
It is. It's you know, aligning yourself with good people is another piece of advice that I would give. Like, you know, having you know, partnered up with John. John is so organized. He's constantly you know, refining my disorganizational skills. So I've got a lot better after I've met John. I mean, I've known John for a long time. We used to work at Pizza Hut together. I was his manager back then. And so we've like weaved in and out many times. And I then worked for him at Rent-A-Center. But yeah, being organized, having a game plan, all that stuff, John's really helped me with. So kudos to him for, you know, making this a successful team. And it's just the two of us right now. So, well, actually, we have Nick as well. He just joined us, but he's got a full-time job, so he's not able to devote a lot of time to this. But, yeah, it really helps having somebody else that you 100% trust. When I'm on vacation, and it took a while, he would tell me, Stan, I got it. But I was so, I wanted to control everything.
Right.
It was nuts. But when you find somebody that you can trust, man, you can take vacations and take off, and you know that everything's going to be fine. Like, he's going to Italy this Saturday. He's leaving for Italy for 3 weeks. Go have fun. I got it.
Right.
No,
that's great.
You know.
That is a huge peace of mind when you can do that. And you know, it takes trust, takes time. And you're right. You can't. It's like trying to control the weather, right? You can't control everything. But if you're consistent in your actions, you know, the business takes care of itself. And of course, you're going to be professional with your clients, and you want the best for them. But you can't control every little detail of the business.
You're correct. And the only thing, you know, so we've had so many changes with interest rates going up. When did it start going up? May of last year when they started spiking up. But we still kept doing the same things regardless. We still, you know, we do about 4 or 5 events a year. We still plan for the events. We still invited our clients to the events. No matter what the outside world's doing, we're not going to stop doing what we're doing. Because there is business out there. And don't stop doing. Don't get depressed. Stop listening to the news or go on YouTube. I checked the other day on YouTube, the first 9 articles, if you type of real estate, is about how things are collapsing and stuff. I'm like, really?
Right. Crazy.
It is insane.
So check this out. I pulled this up for you, Stan. So check this out. Listen to this 1 minute. So March of 22, the Fed raised it 25 basis points. May, half a point. June, July, September, and November, 75 basis points each. 3.75s in a row. Then another 50 basis points in December. February of this year, 25 basis points. March, 25. May, 25. June, 0. And then 25 again. So think about that. Think about that in the history of our business. That's it's never been done before. Not even half of that has ever been done before. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting.
It is. But you know what's even more interesting is that there are still people that want to buy a home and sell a home.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
They're out there. So anybody listening, don't let the negative people get you down. I guarantee you those folks are out there. You know, and I always try to have different sources of you know, business. I tend to do business with people I know. I really tend to I like doing business with people I know. It fosters our friendship. You know, it reminds them of what I do. Because let's face it, not everybody's going to remember that you're a realtor. There's always somebody out there advertising. There's always somebody out there that's got a boatload of more money to put their faces on the billboards or on TV and be sponsors for the Phoenix Suns and all that stuff. I'm never going to outbeat those. All I can do is manage what I've got and stay in front of them.
Right. Yep. it's one of those things. So give us an idea. How do you do your business today? What's the main? I know your sphere is a huge part of it, but you said you're at 68%. Where's the other 32% of your business come from?
From referrals. The referrals from other agents. We do some relocation stuff. So we don't buy any leads. I used to spend about $1,500 a month on Zillow leads.
Mm.
It's expensive.
How did that work for you?
We were actually in the black on that. But Zillow's changed the way that they do stuff now, so we were in that program. But we don't need that anymore. I'm looking at all different places. And we have a gentleman that is door knocking, and we have been forming a partnership with this folk. He's not a realtor, to help us on the door knocking end right now. So I get leads from my vendors. I got a pool guy, I got a guy, I got an airline guy, I got all kinds of stuff. I'm always talking to our vendors saying, hey, who else do you know that we can help? My hair cutter at Great Clips, she told me, we were just passing, making conversations. She said, yeah, we have a condo my husband wants to sell, but he's got this girl that he wants to hire. And, so every month she's talking to me about this. I found, hey, why don't you give me your husband's phone number? Let me call him. And guess what? About 8 months later, I sold their condo.
Nice job.
It's
okay. You always have your antenna up, right? You have that mentality of everything is an opportunity.
Yeah, and it's you're already doing business with them, so why don't you just ask? They may not know anybody today, but they may know somebody in 2 months. So I think a lot of people forget that. The more people, it's the old thing. Like, it's a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the better the odds of you getting a lead.
Yeah, it is a total numbers game. I 100% agree. And I when I was in the business, I used to call that in the hunt mentality. Everywhere you go is an opportunity to talk about real estate. Your car, your hair, the grocery store, the dry cleaners. Everybody is an opportunity. And remember my line, everybody's a suspect until they become a prospect, and then absolutely. So you have that too. It's obvious.
I mean, that's easy pickings. You already know the people.
And I remember John. I was talking to John, your partner, one time, and he said when it's July and August, he goes to the mall. You guys have a mall not too far from your office, and he walks around with his open house flyers and so forth, passing them around inside the mall. It's a great idea.
And there's so many ideas out there. Just go out there and do it. Just don't. I see a lot of people that's analyzes what they want to do all day, and then just don't do it. Don't look for perfection. Just go out there and do it. You're not going to be perfect, but who cares? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's no perfection.
No. If you're waiting for perfection,
so give us your top three. So I'm in business. I want to take it to the next level, or I want to come out of the gates hot. What were the three most important things you'd tell them to focus on?
I mean, unless you've got previous experience, I would maybe get a mentor or work in a team or something. Yes, you're going to give some money up, maybe 50% of your money or more. But the experience you're going to have, you'll be working with different transactions. You can sit there, open houses. You can go through the walkthroughs and all kinds of stuff. The inspections, that's valuable stuff. At least do that for a year. Number two, I see agents focused only on commission. Big mistake. Oh my gosh, I'm so broke. There's a check coming. I mean, I get it. You got to pay your bills, but I think it's a bad idea to be focused only on commission. When I show a house, Rick, I always tell my clients, hey, this is what I like about this house, and this is what I don't like about this house. I tell them the good on every single home. And never tell them.
I like that. It's a great idea.
Okay. And sometimes John goes, hey, when we're putting stuff in the sky, so hey, what's the commission on this? I'm like, oh crap, I didn't even check. And I'm not saying that to be, anything, but I'm just being honest. If that's the home decline, I don't care what I do care what I'm getting paid, but that's not my first focus. I know if I do a great job and my clients know that I'm doing the best job for them, they will come back to me in the future. And more importantly, I hope they refer me out. That's where the goal is. And, your clients referring folks. And the third item would be keep in touch, stay in touch. How to do that? Phone calls. Mark Stark started this, phone calls on your birthdays. So in my calendar on my phone, I put down birth dates, and I call them. Or if I don't call them, I'll text them, wish them a happy birthday. People like that. I know I like it. I don't think anybody out there would like to be called on or texted and say, hey, happy birthday. And there are people who go, wow, Stan, thanks. You remembered, huh? So, yeah, I'm still here.
That's right.
Always.
Now, there was a time that you got a little lax on your sphere of influence, but in the last, I would say, 5-6 years, you've really cranked it up, and that's made a huge difference, hasn't it? This consistency you're talking about.
It has. For so long, we were told, hey, you got to do an event, get people together. And in my head, I'm like, oh gosh, how do I do that? I don't want to do that. I've never done that before. I'm scared. Well, we did it, and after the first one, we've done now 2 shredathons for shredding your documents. And we just did the ice cream social last week. That was the second annual ice cream social. We're going to have partnered up with a pet supply store, which incidentally, they're my clients. And I've got my niece has got a Great Dane rescue. We're going to partner with them, have a bring your dog to the park event when it's cooler. They'll have groomers out there. We'll give out some gift cards. Just getting to know more people and saying thank you to our clients. We talked about getting a movie theater rented out. It's not expensive. That may have to be when kids are out of school. And the holiday pie, that was a really good success last year. I saw people I haven't seen in years stop by to get a pie before Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, this is after Thanksgiving. This is 2 weeks before Christmas.
Where'd you have it?
In my office.
Oh,
we had people do this, and we had pies lined up. They just had RSVP. It was awesome. And what's funny is before any one of these events, I'm like super nervous. Nobody's going to show up. Gosh, I don't know how it's going to go. And after it's done, I feel fantastic. I want to do it again next year. So if anybody's got questions about, hey, how do I hold an event, call me. Because trust me, I can tell you that you don't have to be perfect. It's okay to be nervous, but just do it because your clients will appreciate you for it. So get a mentor.
That's awesome.
Always do what's best for your client. Because if they even sense that you're all about the commission, they're not going to trust you. And keep in touch.
Yep. Get a mentor. Always do what's best for the clients, and then
keep in touch.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, cool. Now, to set up the pies, them coming to get them, you had to notify them well in advance, right? Give us a little bit of your numbers, like how many people showed up, that good stuff. I think that'd probably be good for them to hear that.
We had 40, 50 pies that we ordered, and every single one of them got picked up. And
nice.
I noticed that every event we have, not the same people show up. So we get,
which is perfect, actually.
Yeah, because not everybody wants a pie. They might be on a diet, or they don't want all this. Not everybody has a dog. Or when the shredding event happens, hey, they could be out of town. The ice cream,
Right.
We have a different group of people show up at the ice cream. Last year we had a lot of kids. This year we had all adults and a few kids, but mostly adults. And I'm like, wow, this is really awesome because you never know.
It is really awesome.
Which event's going to touch that client. Everybody, put in something different.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Stan. Well, listen, any final words? We're right at time here. So any final words you want to leave these lovely people?
Yeah. When the market and whatever the market is doing, if you constantly keep focusing on getting new business, talking to people, you'll do all right. Don't let interest rates get you down. Don't let the tight inventory. Look, we all are in the same boat. Everybody has the same pond to fish out of.
Right.
So, and constantly keep improving your skills. That's the other thing I would say. Attend meetings, know what's going on. Yeah. When,
awesome.
If you have
Stan, I just want to say, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just saying, when you have extra time, figure out a way to improve your skills.
Sharpen that axe, baby. I love it. All right, Stan the man, you're the best. Thank you very much for taking your time out. Make sure you tell John from me, too, to have a great time in Italy. It's beautiful. All right, and I will look forward to talking to you soon. Everybody else will do this again in a week. Thanks, Stan the man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Rick. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.